Today is my last day cycling in Denmark. Tomorrow I'm getting the ferry from Hirtshals to Kristiansand in Norway, where I will go and stay with some friends for a couple of days and do some washing and rest my legs and things before heading off further north. As you can see, it's not a very nice day. It rained really hard in the night. Then I set off in kind of a bit of sunshine, but the sun is basically being a flirtatious little minx today. She's popping out, showing a bit of thigh, and then zipping back in behind the rain cloud. And this one is coming down particularly heavy, so I've just sheltered in some trees to try and wait for the worst of it to go by. I've got a sort of fairly long ride to do today, so I hope it doesn't last long, otherwise I'm just going to have to ride damp. Won't be the first time, probably won't be the last. That all got quite unpleasant for a moment then. It was raining pretty hard, so I didn't want to keep stopping and checking maps, and somewhere I missed a turning and ended up just tracking along next to this pretty busy road. So I was getting poured on from above, sprayed from the sides by passing cars and lorries, and once you're wet you notice how cold the wind is. But I think the weather seems to have blown over now. There's definitely better skies ahead, and I'm nearly back on my route, so I think we're all good. By the time I make camp this evening, I will have done nearly the whole west coast of Denmark. I've done it in 6 fairly laid-back days. I think if I'd pushed it and had the wind behind me, I could easily have done it in 5. And if I wanted, there is probably one more day's ride north to the very northerly tip, but my path ends at the ferry. That's how far I'm going. I'd say, all in all, it's been really, really nice. If it's something you're thinking about doing, what would I say? I would say think about your tyres, because you will ride on a whole load of different surfaces, from really smooth top quality tarmac to grit, gravel, shingle, sand, woodland trails, access roads, just all kinds of stuff. Enough of it I think is rough that I wouldn't want to do it on slim tyres. I'm on Schwalbe Marathon Mondials that seem to have done very well. They deal with the loose stuff and get a good grip in, but then if you pump them up a bit harder, they roll pretty well on the tarmac as well, so that don't seem to be a bad choice. Weather, nothing you can do about it, but it's worth being prepared. I think the wind is pretty much a constant in this part of the world, and I suppose if I'm realistic, for about 50% of this ride it's been in my face. For the other 50% it's been either coming in from the side or coming in from behind. So it does swing round, but it's always there. So also you have to be prepared for a lot of long stretches with no shelter at all. Some of the stretches through the sand dunes, for instance, if it's windy, the wind hits you. If it's raining, the rain comes in like little machine gun bullets. If it's sunny, the sun is just on you with no shade from the same angle all day. So just be prepared, I guess. The ride itself is really pleasant. It's pretty much all on designated cycle paths. If it is on roads, they're so quiet they might as well be cycle paths. And the few times that you might find yourself getting involved in any traffic, the Danish are very careful drivers and very respectful of cyclists, so it's not a problem. You'll pass through all kinds of different landscapes. You get wide, flat, rural farmland. You get forests, both kind of pine forests and broadleaf stuff. Lots of beech and silver birch and rowan, which is all very nice. There's some amazing sections through the dunes. Just long, swooping grit trails through the sand dunes. It's brilliant. Some of it tracks along pretty close to the edge of the sea. Sometimes you'll come inland a bit. You can be pretty sure that every day, at least once, you'll pass through a little town or a village where there's a shop and you can resupply and what have you. So it's a very easy ride. Accommodation, if you're after campsites, they are plentiful and they're all really plush. You know, you get the normal kind of hot showers and a toilet block, but you'll also probably get a wash block. You'll probably get a TV room with Wi-Fi, maybe a games room, a kitchen, a little shop, sometimes a restaurant. I mean, they're not messing around. But if you are camping, I would say do not overlook the shelters. I have enjoyed staying in them so much. They're brilliant. They're really well made, really well maintained, really well thought out. And other than the hot water, I'd say they probably offer a better experience than a campsite. Because a lot of them are positioned in these really amazing spots, hidden away in the forest or tucked into the sand dunes and looking out over the sea. And they're free. And you'll get to meet other cyclists because they seem to get a lot of use by other people doing North Sea cycle route, and you can get tips on what's coming up the path or whatever, swap stories. It's just nice to cross paths with people from time to time. So I highly recommend them. I can't recommend them enough. They're brilliant. In fact, the whole ride's been really nice. You know, it's definitely one worth considering for anyone who likes touring. And I think if you were thinking of doing maybe your first tour and you wanted something that you could do in a week that wasn't super kind of intense wilderness, this would be an excellent one to think about, because it's very doable, it's very easy to find your way, it's an easy ride, there are no massive climbs. It's easy to keep supplied, to find water, it's easy to find places to sleep. All the people I've spoken to seem to be super friendly and chatty. You can do it really cheap in the shelters, and it's just a lovely kind of mixed bag of riding. I'd highly recommend it, as I've said before. But I think that's kind of me done, really. You can check out my other video about the camping shelters if you're interested, because there's some links and stuff on how to find them in there, and my other videos about this ride if you want to see some more kind of footage of what the actual landscape is like. But from me, I think that's it for Denmark. Thank you very much, it's been a pleasure. I will be back soon, I'm sure. But for now, I'll see you all in the forest. Puddle. Another puddle.